How can something as beautiful as this be dying? Welcome to Biomutant. Pick your path carefully by whatever you can see. Says the myriad have taken a shine to you, and your fire is burning brighter with your second outpost. Says you'll meet again. There's news of a Ronin joining the tribe. That must be you. Let's see. If you want to spend this whole operation underground for a while, then you're on the spot with Bang Shelter 6D. Give him a hand. When a story comes to you, pay attention. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about. Says there's no reason to let you in on where it is. Says there's no reason to make threats. Would have told you about it sooner or later. Thought you were smart enough to know better than to try to save things. So, says you covered the important things already. Has heard the Tree of Life echoes the world. Has plenty to do, so no worries. Says it's better to be holed up somewhere safe than to wander around at night. Wishes you goodbye. Says if you like to go out on the surf, you should find goop. Says you should... Sad that you try to nest with others. Heard that the Jagni tribe's constantly looking for new recruits to fill their ranks. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. That's a gnote. Easy prey for Lupa-Lupin. For everyone else, they're a perfect mount and easily tamed if they are kept fed. How long has this night gone on? Wiser than ever. You can make so many amazing things out of wood scrap. It's the chug yard. Locked solid. It's getting lighter out. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. They can carry you anywhere you like, well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it from there. You're on the right track. Keep your eyes open. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprites. Smash that track! Down to half your health. That's a good find. Bomba bonk. Let's see. This box once tailed a chugga-chugga. Now it's just off track. Look at that, right in the chug yard. Follow the rails and you'll find all sorts of little treasures scattered all over the place. Who do you think? You're not the first wanderer in these parts. Good work finding that track. They can teach you so much about the world. Keep looking for more. Check out that day. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel, the toxanol dumped in the surf, had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. He hopes you remember that one time he taught you to upcycle, and hopes you've had some use for it over the years. He understands history made Loopa Loopin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo encourages that. You should forgive, but never forget. It'll provide some comfort to your soul and keep the memory of lost loved ones in your heart.
Fan that flame!
Beat out that spark before it starts.
It was so young, so fragile. It had so much to give.
Better to take it down now while you still can.
Fire catches. Eventually.
Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone, so you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. It's the part of the land that suffered most from the apocalypse. It's deprived of oxygen, making it next to impossible for anything but creatures that were most contorted by the contamination. Does fire even start? There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. It all feels too tight. That's the leftover you're looking for. You're cut off from the world above. More raw for your crafting. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. Something he devised to salvage valuables from the ground. There are usually spots hidden beneath puddles of oily goo where you can use the net. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. It's a little feisty and tough critter, a perfect fit for a live ammunition, if you ask him. The grease monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the dead zone. This is turning out to be quite an expedition. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. Looks like you got this. Let's see. This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be. Claims he goes after the most dangerous game, huge monsters. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make. You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. When it comes to monsters, he mostly picks who dies. Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot. Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead. Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights and they keep putting up new ones. He's afraid you're just as stubborn as them. But enough of that, right? He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed. He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output. Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short. Says he's not sure, but if you're going to haunt something, it seems a waste not to eat it. Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster haunter. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big. There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes. Thinks you have bigger issues than your so-called haunting skills if you're going to nitpick on his grammar. Feels good to be alive. Wait, it's the scrip hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. Watch it. These steel legs were made for walking. Remember, any wreck you can crawl away from is a good one. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Stomping time. Even the sound seems sharper here. Keep your hands on the move sticks. He says that's enough squips to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. It's not his cleanest invention so far, but it gets the job done. Use it to suck up gooey oil puddles in the Mekton's way so you can pass. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now, otherwise he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. There's time to improve the Mekton before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mekton with on your own. He got the idea to build the Mekton when he found a big crate containing the metal frame for something Toxanol had named an exoskeleton. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says life is slow right now, but at least it's something. Says there's no chance of survival if the World Eaters are left alone. Says you're welcome back. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says you'll meet again. The light is nearly blinding. Just when you think it's darkest, the dawn. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. That's a myriad tribe outpost. Yuck! Biohazard. Sickening. The Vespidut outpost, long-time home of the Myriad tribe. Let's see. Ah, some wood scrap. I'm always happy to find that. Welcome to the Surfipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. Oh, there's some blasty plots up ahead. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest and recovery. When day... Yes, some e-waste for you. New thoughts for you. the day is here. This is a quarrel spot. So many wars have been fought over this patch of dirt. What a waste. That'll teach you. Nice. Some bark wood scrap for you. Tread soft. That's a monster nest, if ever I've seen one. Could be this key. Control your destiny, or someone else will. Stay away from that biohazard. You'll want to wash yourself off for a month. Believes the rot at the trunk of the tree of life has changed everything, even style. Most just dress in whatever rags they can find. Their pal Juju, though, makes clothes that'd make anyone look fabulous. Says there's no way you can miss him if you see him. Thinks that art like Juju's is even more vital when the world is winding down. You really could use some of that yourself. No reason to stalk the earth in ugly duds. Promises you won't be disappointed. Scrapalicious. Heard Gizmo was looking for you in the Chugyam. Understands completely. Says that with the world ending, it's hard to know how much time you have left. They used to use gadgets to tell time, but they mostly needed power. There's an amazing sundial around here, if you want to know what time it really is. Seems to not be sure, but figures it has to be outside, or at least someplace the sun can hit it. Thinks the sundial can't be too far, just got to look. It's probably out in the open, where the sun can get to it, or at least it was when it was built. You shouldn't try it at night. No sun to dial then. Says you fix that and they can set a thank time for you. Feel the night wrap around you.